Hey there, courageous leader. Looking for a place to connect, share, and collaborate with other ambitious, impact-driven powerhouses? Well, look no further. Join me and dozens of other bold, action-oriented women in leadership in the Lead Hers Lounge. The Lead Hers Lounge is a no-cost monthly meetup for listeners of the show and my broader She Leads community so that we can come together and uncover opportunities to collaborate with each other and magnify our impact. We meet monthly on the fourth Wednesday of every month. Details to save your spot for the next no-cost meetup is in the show notes below, or you can head over to SabineGideon.com/lounge to register. Again, that's SabineGideon.com/lounge to register and save your spot. I'll see you in the lounge. Thank you for joining me on another episode of She Leads Now podcast, where we help career and entrepreneurial women gain the tools to develop a success mindset, create winning strategies, build collaborative relationships, and take bold action towards creating impact and fulfillment in their lives and careers. I'm your host, Sabine Gideon, and I'm on a mission to awaken and activate women and emerging leaders so they can tap into their innate leadership ability, elevate their influence, and create the impact they were destined to make. If you're ready to uplevel your confidence, courage, and influence, you've come to the right place. Join me weekly for insights, strategies, and resources to help you grow, develop, and embody the leader you were meant to be, so that you can make the impact you know you are called to make and establish the legacy you've always dreamed. The world eagerly awaits the emergence of your brilliance, impact, and influence. So with that, let's dive into this week's episode. Hello and welcome to another episode of She Leads Now. I am so excited to bring you my guest, Zaakirah Muhammad. Zaakirah has more than 10 years of professional photography and branding experience. She empowers people to step outside of their comfort zone through her gift of visual storytelling. She is also the CEO and founder of Phocus Media Group that empowers and supports the growth of minority-owned businesses. She has overcome many challenges in her life, including cancer, to establish herself as an innovative voice in the marketing industry. Oh my gosh, Zaakirah, I'm so excited to chat with you today. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Sabine. I'm so happy to get back in touch with you.
So I am so excited to share with the audience your amazing journey and your amazing story. So if you would please share with us a little bit about your background, who you are, and how you got into this place where you've now developed this organization, Phocus Media Group.
Yes. So when I was 9 months old, I was saved by the bright flash of a camera. So I am a cancer survivor of a rare childhood eye cancer called retinoblastoma. And my mother took a photo of me and she saw a white glow in my right eye and took it to more than one doctor to get, second and even third opinions on what's going on. So it was then detected that I am a cancer survivor of a rare childhood eye cancer called retinoblastoma. And then I was introduced to a camera at the age of 5. So I've pretty much been photographing almost all of my life. But I've taken those photographic skills and my love of people and my years of first teaching myself how to use social media when social media was just coming out. And now I twist that and help other entrepreneurs, soon to be, side hustlers, or those who going into the great resignation and helping them to grow their online brand, both online and offline, because I think, as we know, social media is always changing. And even though we're, in the remote world right now, there's a lot of networking that needs to happen. So if you're not on Instagram, you definitely need to be in Slack or somewhere else, networking and growing your business and your brand.
I love that. And you know what's most amazing? Like when we initially talked and you explained to me, and even in your book, right, that camera saved your life, and the fact that it's been part of your purpose up until this point in your career and in your business, that it's such a critical part of who you are, your identity, and how you share yourself and your knowledge and your skills with the world. So I just think that is totally amazing. I am curious though, obviously, you own your own business now, you do photography, and you support individuals with social media. Talk to me about your career journey. How did you even get into this place? I get the photography piece, but how did social media become part of your business offering?
Yeah, well, actually, I will throw in photography a little bit. That I actually did study photography. I went to school for photography. I got to go to a technical high school where I could get my high school diploma and get entry level certification in my chosen industry of photography. So I studied photography first. And so no matter what you study in school, there's always some other courses, right? So I, completed my homework assignments and learning that, okay, I got to build a website now, or I have to market myself. I have to talk about my business. And so that's where social media really came in. I was on Facebook before I was supposed to be on Facebook. So I was on MySpace, making my own websites and making my own playlists. So I was one of those millennials that were just always on the interwebs. And then it wasn't until I graduated high school that I had a friend who was a music artist slash hairstylist. And she was doing great with word of mouth referrals and offline networking. But then I'm like, are you on Facebook? And she's like, no, what is that? So that really opened the door to helping, especially women and minority owned businesses, to really step outside of their comfort zone, try something new, join the interweb, join a new social media network, and network that way. So it's been amazing 10 plus years of just helping and working with both startups as well to really just understand the power of social media as well.
Yeah, so it sounds like you've always known somewhere inside of you. You were an entrepreneur, you were multi-passionate, and so it's unlike people like me, right, who went down the corporate path and then realized something else is out there. You've kind of been following basically that gift, if you will. So that is amazing. So as you think about your career, right, and especially as you're supporting small businesses who are looking to market their businesses, it's kind of hard, right, for the small business person to stay up to speed on all of the changes. And then you, as the consultant, you have to be up on those changes. So what are some of the ways that you're able to manage servicing your clients and staying relevant with regards to industry changes?
So automation is key, definitely, especially now. I have been in the era where all of these automation features were just starting out. So it may have frustrated, was frustrating in the very beginning, but really between automation, because it's pretty much 100% or 98% functional now, and delegating. So I would never always doing it alone, even though I do have this superwoman syndrome of I got this, but I was never fully doing it alone. So being able to automate, being able to delegate, and also thank goodness for being able to kind of control what I do look at on social media. So I try not to look at, the things that would, make me envious, make me jealous, make me have FOMO, but instead I'm following, the trendsetters, the ones who would know also what's going on in the digital marketing world. So Twitter is a great resource for knowing what's going on before everyone else is. So once we find out, the word gets out, and that's how we're able to trickle it down, to our clients as well. So
absolutely. And so when you think about your network, right? Because I think that that's another important piece within our career journey, whether we're in corporate, whether we're in entrepreneurship, or whether we got one foot on both sides of the street there, having a network or cultivating a strong network is, I feel like, one of the most important skills. So as you think about your career, what role has your network played in helping you advance and continue to grow your business?
There's this quote that it's not originated by me, and I've been having it float around in my head of your network is your net worth. And I've been saying that to myself, especially more in 2022. And you and I get this, we met in a network, right? And it's because of that network that we can continue to collaborate and know what each other's up to and how we can support each other and even be each other's clients. So network for me is everything, especially in this day and age of remotely. So even though, I would like to really kind of be very active and learn, have, the leadership abilities and trainings and whatnot to be able to network offline, those same skills apply online as well. You don't just send a friend request and look. You gotta send a friend request, send a message, send the message of who you are and how we relate to each other or how we can help each other. Because that's the only way that people will really be able to keep you in mind of, hey, I need a photographer, or hey, I need a career coach or something of the likes, because you introduce yourself not only just on your social media pages, but when you're sending messages. So your network is your net worth, and I still firmly believe that.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point, because we did meet in a community network event. And that, now that I do the math, that was 2018, 2019.
2018, yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was just through a Facebook group. And here it is all these years later, we're still connected, and here you are on the podcast. And so I do think that it is so critical and so powerful for us to step outside of this box of, oh my gosh, I got to put my head down and I got to do the work. Because in reality, it's about who you know, and who you know can open doors for you that no amount of hard work could ever open for you. So I'm glad that we've leveraged our network to continue to partner and support each other in our businesses. Thank you for bringing that up. What I also would love to know, or would have you share with our audience, right? If you think about your journey through your career, through the ups, through the downs, through all of the things that you've had to learn over the course of your career, looking back, is there anything that you would do differently, knowing what you know now?
It's so timely that you asked it, because I, scroll on social media and I see either, the Great Resignation posts, or I see those complaining about entrepreneurship because they just started less than 3 years ago. And I think about the fact that I kind of did it backwards. I started with entrepreneurship, and then I've been there. I've dibbled and dabbled of both entrepreneurship and the 9-to-5, or just the 9-to-5. So I feel like sometimes I do think, how life would be if I did it the other way around. I used my startup capital from the job to, build my startup that way, versus just diving into entrepreneurship and using, my referrals and all that. So, I mean, everybody's story is different, but I do think about that a lot, of just, how hefty my savings account would be early on if I did have that job early on.
That is a really great point. And as we know, no matter how hefty it might have been in the beginning, over time, it would dwindle. Of course, once you got up and running and getting customers, that wouldn't matter as much. But yeah, there are so many schools of thoughts around what's the best journey. And I really firmly believe that we all have our own individual journey. So whether you or me, who climbed the corporate ladder just to realize that it wasn't for me, or like you, who started in entrepreneurship and then dipped into corporate as well, I think the important part is, what are the skills that we learned, right? Regardless of where we started, how are we leveraging the training and the skills from that to be able to continue to grow and develop as professionals, as business owners, and certainly as leaders? And so that brings me to my next question in terms of leadership, right? I think in these last few years, we have seen the absolute need for leadership to step up so much differently than it has in the past. And so as you think about leadership, how would you define your leadership style and how you approach leading in your business?
I think my leadership style is a thin line between empathetic and intuitive. I think I've realized that because of my sensibility, to people's emotion, that I can use that to my advantage. Pick up on the fact that if I'm on a sales call and this woman's mindset is really not there, to use that to my advantage. How can I support her elsewise? And intuition when it comes to leadership, especially when it comes to delegating and outsourcing and helping to build my team. If I can pick up on, if it's a mom who got so much going on, how can I offset her load or something like that? So I think my leadership skills are a thin line between empathetic and intuitive, which as to my experience, just briefly being in corporate, is a superpower because people are just in that rat race of get it done, get it done, get it done, get the most money, get the most money, get the most money, get the most award, get the most award, get the most award. But it's like, okay, what about the culture? What about the people? So I think for me, being empathetic and intuitive, meshing one on some days, it's actually a superpower.
Absolutely. I love that. More of those human characteristics are certainly needed in leadership today. So I love that that's how you see yourself and how you identify as a leader. So now my other question to you is, thinking back through if you had the opportunity to either go back to your younger self or speak to a group of young women who are emerging leaders or they're coming into the awareness of their leadership ability and their voice, what advice would you give her?
I'm so glad you're asking this question because that's really, as I grow old every single day, I realize that is my purpose. My purpose is really to, take all these skills and look back and reach out the hand to help that young leader that I see who right now she's so confident and firm in her word, but may hit the puberty age where boys and bullies will come in and alter all of that. And I just really want to be able to tell her to hang on tight, keep going, because it would be very noisy for 10 plus years. So tune out that noise, whatever you need to do to just listen to your heart and keep going.
You're absolutely right. Because oftentimes, children, they're so confident, right? You ask them what they want to be when they grow up, or you ask them like what they want, and they don't even think about it because they haven't started adulting yet and don't know the pitfalls of that. And at some point, to your point, they start to lose that confidence because of the influences externally. So I love that the reminder is tap into who you really are and stay true to that. So with that, I want to wrap up, but I have a couple of rapid fire questions for you to share with the audience. If you have a success routine or something that you do on a daily basis, whether first thing in the morning, some point in the day, that allows you to get into the mindset so that you can actually fully show up as the leader that you are?
Yes. So I have been perfecting or doing my best to perfect and maintain and be consistent with a regular morning routine. So a few of those things include not going to social media as soon as I wake up, not checking the news or my email as soon as I wake up. But instead, if I had a dream, write that down because, again, just being intuitive, sometimes it's a dream that's about to come into fruition for you. So I write down my dreams or I just write down any of my thoughts and concerns and manifestations. If I'm not physically writing it down in a handy dandy notebook, prayer is super, super powerful because I really believe that, once again, we're not alone in this. We have a guiding principle. And also I don't skip breakfast, even if it's just a smoothie, even if it's just instant oatmeal, even if it's just fruit. I do not skip breakfast, because our brain does need to be nourished to be able to tackle the day. And I am also a huge music lover. So I will I have a set playlist of my favorite songs. I love pop and R&B, but it's the lyrics that even if you're not paying attention to it, you can listen to it in the background and you know that it's kind of empowering for you. So anything by Beyonce, definitely empowering. So yeah, I pray, I avoid social media, I actually eat breakfast, and I have a empowering music playlist.
I love that. Just one last question for you that has like two parts. What special projects are you working on, and where can the audience find you if they want to connect?
Yes. So I am working on building a membership community for minority women-owned creatives because we're all at different stages in entrepreneurship and we all need that support. aside from reading the right books and listening to the right music, it also has tribe, have the right woman around you. So I'm working on building a membership community. And this is for those who may not want a full creative suite through my creative marketing agency, which is now it's official. I've been able to combine the social media and photography and make it a marketing agency. So for those who don't want the full shebang, that we have a membership community where you can just kind of reach out to the tribe of what you need help with. So you can find all of that at Phocus with a PH, which is a play on the word photography, Phocus Media Group, PHOCUSED mediagroup.com. And you'll learn just how we support creative, whether they have books, podcasts, service-based businesses, e-commerce businesses, but the focus really is minority woman-owned businesses.
And what about social? Where do you hang out?
So I am everywhere on social media at Illuminous1, which is my middle name, Bright Light. It's Arabic for bright light. And it's ILLUMINOUSONE.
Awesome. So I will be sure to include those links and your handles all across social media in the show notes. Thank you so much, Zaakirah, for coming on and for sharing your knowledge and your experience in your journey. Any last words of advice that you want to leave with the audience?
I say keep reading, keep learning, whether it's a book or a podcast. Keep reading and keep learning and keep going.
Awesome. All of Zaakirah's information will be included in the show notes, so please be sure to check it out. Connect with her. Let her know that you heard her on the She Leads Now podcast. And if you are a creative and you need support with your marketing or your branding, please reach out to her and connect with her. With that, I will see you on next week's episode of the She Leads Now podcast. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of She Leads Now. Be sure to join us next week for another transformative discussion to help you grow, develop, and embody the courageous leader you've always been. Be sure to subscribe to the show to get alerts when new episodes drop, and join us for our next Leaders Lounge meetup on Zoom. Details and dates for future sessions are included in the show notes below, so take a look there or head over to SabineGideon.com/lounge to register and hold your spot for the next session. Again, that's SabineGideon.com/lounge to grab your spot. Excited to connect with you all inside the lounge. Talk to you soon.